And good morning to all. Welcome to DSS online class. Well, today I will start new chapter, list manipulation. In this video I will discuss about list manipulation. Do you all aware already what is the list? What do you mean by indexing a list? How do you read data from the user and how to traverse for a list? What are the various list operator that you can use? What do you mean by list slicing? Is that clear? Okay, now let me introduce to you list. If you remember in chapter 2, data handling in Python, we have learned there is a data type, all the sequence of data type, and the unsequence type I had mentioned free data type in Python, string, list and tuple. How to read data from the user and store in the list, how to traverse in the list, what are the various lists that you can use, and what do you mean by the list slicing. Is that clear? Okay. Now let me introduce to list. If you remember in chapter 2, data handling in Python, we had learned various type of data type called sequence, data type. I have mentioned 3 data type of Python: string, tuple, list. Today we will learn a list. A list is a sequence data type having value belonging to any type. That you say homogeneous list, or a list may be consist of value which have different data type. When in that case list has a heterogeneous data type, and a list is always implemented used स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट. आपको याद होगा कि आप स्ट्रिंग को जब मेंशन करते थे तो सिंगल कोट्स में, डबल कोट्स में, ट्रिपल कोट्स में मेंशन करते थे. ओके, सिमिलरली we are implementing the list in square bracket. Okay, one very important thing we compare string is string are immutable. That means उस डेटा को आप चेंज नहीं कर सकते थे. ठीक है. एंड लिस्ट क्या है कि ये म्यूटेबल है, आप किसी भी एलिमेंट पे जाओ और चेंजेस कर सकते हो उसमें. ठीक है, सेम मेमोरी लोकेशन पे. ओके, that is mean by list is mutable. Show you some example of the list. See, L1 is a list, all the elements all the list, so it is called homogeneous list. L2 is again list, but it is called empty list. And L3 is heterogeneous list. Why? There are 3 elements in the list, but is each are those element different kind or different data type. The first element we integer, second element is a string, and third element is being the floating point number. Clear? Now L4 is nothing but nested list. Now what do you mean by nested list? Can you see this square bracket within the major or a big square bracket? Yes. So you have a small list within your bigger list. What it means by nested list. Is that clear? Now there is a function called alien which gives you number of character in the string. What does alien with list do? Will tell you the number of is still gives me 3, and what is meant by nested list. Is that clear? Now see the L4. According to L4, which is 1, and other main element which is puja, and other element is the list of the values which is 35, 67, 89. So we have those 5 element in L4. It is going to say in nested loop consider 1 element is. Okay. Now how do we accept the data and accept the value in the list? If you remember, If you remember, how do you read a string? You just made a put a input function. Method 1, using the list method, constructor of the list class, accepting a list of values from the user. Okay, so remember one thing. What is the constructor? Uf is the same name as that a class. क्लास नेम और कंस्ट्रक्टर नेम दोनों सेम होता है. ध्यान दीजिए, क्लास का नाम और कंस्ट्रक्टर नेम क्या होता है? सेम होता है. और क्लास क्या होता है? क्लास कलेक्शन ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट्स होता है. कलेक्शन ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट्स होता है. ओके, सेम नेम एज द क्लास, सच फंक्शन एज ए कॉल्ड a constructor. Okay, and that aim is the create a constructor as a class name. Example, I say a list, L equals to list bracket input, enter the element, print L. हम लोग यूज करते हैं int input. तो int input क्या करेगा? एक एलिमेंट को लेगा, बट लिस्ट इनपुट यहाँ पे कई सारे एलिमेंट को ले सकता है. ओके, now what happens here is every character who user you have enter converted to one element in the list. To understand this, I am showing the output here. I am wrote here 1 2 1 1 2 2 4. ओके, सी द क्या किया इसने? 1 को एक जगह ब्रैकेट में कर दिया, 2 को कर दिया, 2 को फिर अगेन कर दिया, फिर अगेन 4 को कर दिया. ओके, बट सारे एलिमेंट को ये करेक्टर टाइप में ले रहा है. ठीक है, करेक्टर ही ले रहा है, ये देखिएगा. ठीक है, ये सारे फंक्शन को क्या कर रहा है? जितने एलिमेंट मैंने डाला है उसको क्या ले रहा है? एज ए करेक्टर ले रहा है. ठीक है, ध्यान दीजिएगा. इन अदर वे वी आर रीडिंग द लिस्ट इन द यूजर is making by the function called eval. But you need to remember, when you are using eval function and we are explain enter the list of the element, you need to be writing list of element in a square bracket separated by, so showing on example, t equals to eval input enter list element print t. So message goes to user same enter list element. So user suppose enter the element nothing the square bracket in and each element separated by comma, and here whatever is the data type of the element that you write, that is going to be data type the list also. If you written integer, if you written a string and so on. So example, I said the message came enter list elements 1 2 5 7, means the user remember put the square bracket and write each elements within the square bracket separated by the comma, and what happens that becomes on your list. Now here 1 2 5 7 all written as a integer, so it is clear. So दो वेज इसके लिखने के हैं, 2 वेज इसको लिख सकते हैं आप. देन कमिंग टू इंडेक्सिंग इन लिस्ट. इंडेक्सिंग इन ए लिस्ट इज सिमिलर टू इंडेक्सिंग इन ए स्ट्रिंग विच हैव there is something called forward indexing and there is something called backward indexing. And where does forwarding indexing start? From the first element index number is 0 और बैकवर्ड इंडेक्सिंग कहाँ से स्टार्ट हो रही है? -1 से. इफ़ यू सी हियर दिस लिस्ट कंसिस्ट ऑफ 4 फ्रूट्स. सो वी आर गोइंग टू फर्स्ट एलिमेंट 0, देन नेक्स्ट 1 इज बनाना एंड नेक्स्ट इज चेरी एंड नेक्स्ट 1 इज मैंगो. इफ आई एम यूजिंग द फॉरवर्डिंग इंडेक्सिंग एंड बैकवर्ड पे -1 है, -1 पे क्या है? मैंगो है, -2 पे चेरी है, -3 पे बनाना है, -4 पे एप्पल है. सो सपोज आई एम राइट प्रिंट एंड आई राइट फ्रूट बिकॉज fruit is name of the my list and I am writing -3. What is the output? That is banana. Okay, is that clear? So this is forward and backward indexing. Okay, clear now? So ध्यान से देखिएगा, इस चैप्टर में कोई भी कन्फ्यूजन होगा बेटा तो प्लीज़ 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 आप लोग पर्सनल व्हाट्सएप पे ज़रूर मैसेज करिएगा, ठीक है? Every location as a string, okay? That is the forward and backward indexing. Now this is the small basic list, okay? What is nested list? Okay? प्लीज़ ध्यान से देखिए, ठीक है? ध्यान से देखिएगा, थोड़ा सा टफ है, कोई ज़्यादा नहीं. अगर कोई दिक्कत होगी तो तुरंत फिर से पूछिएगा. The nested list has only, लिस्ट जो लिया है मैंने इसमें 3 एलिमेंट्स हैं, 0, 1 and 2. 1 is indexing 1, Pooja in 1, sorry, indexing 0, 1 is 0, Pooja is 1 and 35 is 3, 2. Let's assume roll number of Pooja. Pooja is obviously name of the student and maybe 35, 67, 89 is the marks of 10. Okay? Means पूजा का रोल नंबर 1 है, पूजा नेम है और उसने मार्क्स ऑब्टेन किए हैं 35 एंड 67, 89. ओके, इंडेक्सिंग है 0, 1, 2, ठीक है? ये फॉरवर्ड इंडेक्सिंग है. ओके, सो 2 वाले में देखो सब 35, 67, 89 ये सब किस इंडेक्स के अंदर आ रहे हैं? 2 वाले के अंदर आ रहे हैं, ठीक है? इनकी निगेटिव इंडेक्सिंग देख लो, -1, -2, -3. ओके, I need to understand by something that I have draw here because it is the nested list. Each of those elements also have a forward indexing as well as a backward indexing. So 35 is a index location is 0, 67 is index 1 and 89 is index 2, and backward indexing 89 is -1, 67 is -2 and 35 is -3. I want to show here, I will write here print. मैं यहाँ पे यूज़ कर देता हूँ टेक्स्ट बॉक्स को, ठीक है, जो इजी होगा समझने के लिए. If I write print and here name of the student, if I write 2, so that scenario what is display? Display the inner list which is 35, 67, 89. It's going to display this. But if I write print and I write the name of the list which is student, okay, and I write square bracket 2, square bracket 1, then in that scenario what does it do? Doesn't display the entire nested list. It only display the element at index locations 1 of the nested list which is nothing but 67. I could also used 1 in the forward indexing. I could also used -2. So when you have nest list to access the nested list, we use 2 square bracket. The first square bracket about the outer indexing and the second square bracket about the inner indexing. Clear? Okay. Now just go to ahead. It's traversing list. Let's talk about the traversing a list. Traversing a string. Suppose I have a list with these characters, their lowercase, for x in v. What happened? I'll say within the string we will take one character or one element of the list. The first element of the list is a and print x is display a. फिर दोबारा ये जाएगा लूप ऊपर, फिर नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट को लेगा ई, फिर दोबारा जाएगा, फिर नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट को लेगा आई, फिर दोबारा जाएगा ओ लेगा, फिर दोबारा जाएगा यू लेगा. ओके, पीछे वाले एग्जांपल में चले जाओ, उसमें अगर हम लोग लेते हैं उसको तो क्या लेगा? फर्स्ट एलिमेंट पे एप्पल था, दूसरे पे बनाना था, तीसरे पे चेरी था, ये सारा कुछ था ना. ओके, नाउ व्हाट अबाउट द indexing using the indexes? Here we know index value of A is 0, E is 1, I is 2 and O is 3 and U is 4. When you are using range function and bracket में है len function, okay? What is len? Len, the number of element in V. लिस्ट। नाउ अभी के लिए बस इतना ही रहने देते हैं, ठीक है। नाउ नेक्स्ट क्लास में देखा जाएगा आगे का फंक्शन। थैंक यू, हैव ए नाइस डे।